Hi there, I'm Beverly from Nourishing Insights, and this week it's Mental Health Awareness Week. And so I thought I would do a little video each morning just to give you some support around some areas which might help you. This year the theme is going to be kindness, and this is about being kind to ourselves but also being kind to others too. So we'll try and weave in some of that theme into our self-care. Now, I was thinking about this and I thought that the best subject to start with would actually be sleep, because if we get sleep right, then many things just fall mysteriously into place. And I see this time and time again with my clients. And in clinical practice, what I see is that many people now are having problems with getting to sleep, sleep onset, but also staying asleep. And it's the quality of sleep that many are having a challenge with. So if we think about where we are just now, we've had a lot of stress during this very unusual, very surreal situation that we find ourselves in. Many people are losing their jobs and people becoming unwell. So there's lots of fear and anxiety, and this is affecting sleep. But something else it's affecting is our routine. So if we're not rushing out to work in the morning, we don't have to get up at a certain time to get showered, or we're finding ourselves at home working on a computer, we can stay in our pajamas all day. It doesn't matter what time we get up. And that change in routine is actually not good for us, for our sleep quality. It's very disruptive. So we would be much better trying to claw our way back, and it is a bit of clawing our way back to a routine. And I think that 2 months in now, that's what people are finding, that they're really just desperate to get back to some kind of routine. Now, we're very good at setting up routines for our children and having good nighttime routines, bath time, stories, and getting into bed at a nice hour. And we know that with children, if we get them into bed at just the right time and they get just the right amount of sleep, then all is well with their world. But if you go over by just a few minutes, or even under, if it's too early, then that can backfire. And it's the same for us. So in the same way that we are helpful and set those routines for our children, we really need to recognise the importance of that routine and rhythm for ourselves, because without that we completely wreck our circadian rhythm. Now, one of the things that really helps our circadian rhythm is having a walk first thing in the morning, because if we have a walk in the morning, or we just go out into bright lights, if you're not able to walk, you could just sit outside for a while or sit in a room that's particularly bright, then the daylight goes into our eyes and that converts into serotonin. And serotonin is a precursor to melatonin, and what we know is that the earlier we have received daylight, then the earlier we release melatonin. The brain, through the pineal gland, will release melatonin at night. So it's a good idea to get some daylight first thing in the morning. So that's the first thing. But the thing about our routine that wrecks us completely, a regular problem, is caffeine. So if you are inclined to drink a lot of caffeine, or you're drinking caffeinated soft drinks, then it's a time to reflect on that and think, right, what could I easily change? And again, with those soft drinks, then it's not just the caffeine that you have to worry about, it's the sugars and the sweeteners, and they're not good for your sleep either, because they affect your blood sugar, which is another challenge when it comes to sleep. So try and do what you can to make those changes. Now, if you're used to drinking lots of caffeine, then you will need to do that slowly so that you don't end up with a headache of all headaches. But certainly if you can switch to water instead of those soft drinks, or flavour it with limes, lemons, mint, or herbal tea bags, they're very good at flavouring cold water even, then that would be great. With herbal teas, of course, they are naturally non-caffeinated, so they're ideal replacements for regular teas and coffees. And if you're not used to them, or you haven't tried many, there are lots of combination tea bags. We have a number of those in our store actually, where you could try different ones, find out what suits you, and then just simply buy more of your favourites. With green tea, again, green tea does contain a little bit of caffeine, around about 15 milligrams, depending on which one you buy. But again, if you're not particularly caffeine sensitive, then that would be absolutely fine. The other benefit of green tea, well, in fact there are many benefits from an antioxidant point of view, but one of the benefits is that it contains an amino acid which is called L-theanine, and this is very calming. So again, L-theanine you'll see in a lot of calming supplements out there. So many people switching to green tea can find that they do feel a lot better and feel a lot calmer, so that's a great alternative. At night time, when you are getting ready to prepare to sleep, a great routine which we recommend a lot is Epsom salt baths, because when you have Epsom salt baths, what you are giving to yourself, apart from that relaxation of being in the bath of course, is magnesium, which comes through the salts and is absorbed transdermally, so through your skin. And this can be a wonderful nighttime routine, a real lifesaver. I love it. And again, if you're using this at night, you can be putting in some essential oils like lavender, etc. So you can be benefiting from those sorts of things. So that would be another lovely part of your routine. But I think nowadays what we're finding really challenging is the fact that it's so tempting to go on social media. And often we'll be sitting in our homes and we might have the TV on in one corner, a laptop on our knees, finishing an email for work that we shouldn't be doing, and also then a phone sitting beside us as well, and we might be looking at going from Facebook to or emails to something that we're half watching on TV. That's not good, and that's far too much stimulation. We're just overstimulated these days and overstressed, and that's not good. So it's recognizing those habits, seeing them for what they are, and making a decision to change that's just not what you want to do anymore. And again, with things like Netflix nowadays, you know, there's the temptation to, once it reaches the cliffhanger, oh, I'll just watch another one, and we all know that feeling. But it is trying to decide, just as you do with your children, what's your routine going to be, what's your cutoff going to be, what suits you, and trying to get those, you know, warm Epsom salt baths, get into bed sooner, read a book. You can use, of course, light blocking glasses if you are going to be watching TV later, and you can download Flux onto your computer, and that will benefit you from the light dimming perspective. So there are lots of things that you can do, and some of you probably are doing these things already, dimming the light on your phones, etc. But it's just about making sure we do these things regularly, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of not doing them. Now, I mentioned in the Epsom salts, one of the key benefits of that is that we absorb magnesium. And one of the key deficiencies with sleep problems that we see is magnesium deficiency, and it is a common deficiency these days. We get it in green leafy vegetables, in avocados, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, but the problem is when we're stressed, we tend to use it more of it than we normally would, and because it's used for over 300 functions in the body, we need it. We need lots of it. It's also important for our blood sugar regulation as well. So it's something that we often have to supplement, even if we think we're eating it, because it is such a common deficiency, and it's one of the most common deficiencies behind sleep problems. Also anxiety, and of course this week with mental health challenges, many people out there suffering anxiety, palpitations. Some of the signs actually that you are low in magnesium can be things like twitchy eye, restless legs, headaches, sleep problems we've said, anxiety, palpitations, these kinds of things. So if you are experiencing any of those or a combination of those, then magnesium is likely the culprit. So that's something that's an easy fix once you start being aware of the foods, but also managing your stress better, because remember, if you are more stressed, you will use up more magnesium. The other thing with that is that if you sweat a lot, if you're going to the gym, magnesium is lost through sweat also. So that's something else to be aware of, but it's certainly one of the most important nutrients regarding sleep. So I'm going to put a blog with this video which you can have a look at, which gives further tips, but that's just to give you a wee starter. Again, looking for nighttime teas, we do have things like pucker nighttime tea is lovely, and we've also got a TikTok tea which I really like just now with lavender in it. So lots of options there for you. So I hope that's been helpful today, and tomorrow we will be on another topic to support you, but I hope that you will start to be kind to yourselves, protecting your sleep.